Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Michelle for those of you who are just dropping in. And today I'm going to talk about why our emotions are so important. And before we dive in, I wanted to encourage you to like this video, subscribe. I'm really trying to grow this channel to provide really good content to you, the viewers, and I would really appreciate if you would consider subscribing this video. And I post mostly every single day a new video based on personal self-development, transformation, or spirituality. So I want you to do something with me. I want you to take your hands and rub them together really hard to get some good friction, and then hold them slightly apart and feel that cool energy. Do that again. Bring them slightly, feel that energy. That's energy within your body. We live in a vibrational world and we are just energy beings. And so that's what our emotions are. Our emotions are basically the end product of an experience. And what that means is your emotions are like the fingerprint of an experience. Imagine what would life be like without emotions. They actually brand the experience. Without an emotion, you wouldn't have a memory of that experience. Studies have shown that the emotion is what brands that to be a memory. The higher quotient the emotion linked to the experience, the longer memory that you will have of that. Now, I want to talk about how your emotions are really different energy frequencies, and we live in a vibrational world, and every single energy or every single emotion that you have is a different frequency. And I've written down some just in general. So joy is on a frequency level of 540. The higher the number, the better you feel. Love is at a 500. Anger is at 150, and fear is at 100. It's one of the lowest. And we can all say we've had fear in our lives and that we all hold a fear of some sort. Do you know babies are not born with fear except for two innate fears? The fear of loud noises and the fear of falling. And that's the only fear that anyone is ever born with. We are learning, we are conditioned to fear. Think about that. They've done studies where babies can literally be dropped into water and the baby will begin swimming. But if you put a baby that falls into the water and a parent runs screaming after the child, what happens is the reaction of the parent or the reaction of people around someone when something happens actually conditions the individual to become fearful of that experience. Now, that can happen whether you actually have the experience or you heard of someone having the experience. An example might be you might have never lost your job, but you hear of people talking about losing their job. So just the thought can condition you to feel fear. And that is how fear or any emotion is basically brought about, is they are conditioned. Babies aren't born with any emotions pretty much. We learn our emotions and our reactions from other people around us, and primarily our caregivers, primarily our teachers, our influencers. So that's why it's very important to understand what emotions are and how they affect us. Because what happens is, if you have a lot of fear or strife in your life, just awareness is understanding that this fear is conditioned. Where did I get this fear from? Where did I learn this response to this experience? Have I ever actually had this experience, though I feel this fear? or I feel this experience about this circumstance when I think about that. So that's really the importance, is awareness of being able to know that yes, you have emotion, and yes, your emotions are very important to feel. They help guide us to make decisions. Without emotions, we would not be driven. Rather, that's love or fear. Your emotions are your guidance of how to drive you, or sometimes they're even paralyzing when you're really not sure what to do. You ever feel like that? Like you just can't make a decision because you have so much fear inside of you. It can literally be paralyzing. So think about a time that you've really experienced a lot of either love or fear, and think about your feelings. Think about how you react. And then think about someone you know that might have experienced something similar, and think about how they feel, or think about how they react. And what you'll notice is that our emotions are not universal. We react differently based on who we are, because who we are is based on our experiences in life. And we've all had different experiences, so we're not all going to feel the same way in a certain circumstance. You know, a person might be in a wreck, and one person would experience a lot of emotional fear and might talk about it for days, and might feel, you know, just a lot of disorganized thoughts. And one person being in the same vehicle would have the same experience, and they might be fine. They might not emotionally be affected by that. And what happens is that is really based on that individual's personal experiences. So I would encourage you to think about your experiences in your life that drive you. And especially fear, because fear is that thing. Fear is that one emotion that can drive you, or it can paralyze you. But here's the thing, you don't want to be driven by fear, because that makes you very resistant. It makes you often resent people around you when you're doing something for fear of it, because you are afraid of the consequences, instead of maybe being inspired to do it, driven by your own emotions of how you feel, than rather by someone else's ability to influence you to have fear. So I would encourage you to think about how your emotions drive your reactions in your life from day-to-day interaction. So hey guys, don't forget to like the video, subscribe below, and I'll see you back in the next video.